Good morning, friends, family, fans, and fantastically fine folks. Good to see you guys today. It is Thursday, May 4th, and it is breezy and cool out. The forecast for today is not so good. It's supposed to start raining, even like really hard raining, torrential rain, the later in the day it gets. So like 8 to 11 there's a 20 or 30% chance, and then 11 to 1 it's like 50 or 60%. So bottom line, it's going to be raining. Yesterday was very hot and muggy, and then today I've got on my regular hiking shirt, my Patagonia long sleeve shirt, and my rain jacket just to get warm for a few minutes while I start hiking. I'll be able to shed the rain jacket, I'm sure, pretty soon. But for now, it's on because I'm chilly. So I didn't do the math this morning and look at the book to see the tents, but basically I did 22 miles yesterday. Last night, got in at like 8:15 or something. And by the way, I don't know if I said it, but it's 8:15 this morning. Anyway, got in at 8:15 last night into Big Bald Shelter, and it's a very nice shelter, and there was space in there, and so I stayed in the shelter for the first time, and it went okay. The problem with getting in so late was I had to do a lot of stuff in the dark. So I was able to get my air mattress blown up and my sleeping bag laid out before it got too dark, but then I had to cook with my flashlight some, my headlamp, and then I had to eat with my headlamp, as well as the rest of the guys with me. We all had to, and some people were already in bed when we got there, and so I felt bad. We had to try to be very quiet, but I think it all worked out. Everybody wears earplugs in the shelters, and so seemed like it worked out okay. Got up about 7 this morning, moving a little slow. That was a huge day for me. 22 miles, I can't believe it. Some of the terrain was intense. Climbing up to that Big Bald, there were spots where, it was big rock scrambles and whatever late in the day. Boy, it was, but you know what? It's over, and I feel pretty well this morning. My shin splints are amazingly better. They're not gone. I'm still wearing compression sleeves. I'm taking ibuprofen to keep the swelling down. My left one is doing a lot better. My right one is starting to hurt some, but not terrible. It's just kind of there. So anyway, there's kind of an update on those things. Looking at probably trying to do 17 miles today to get into Uncle Johnny's hostel. That's the plan. With the weather that's coming, it's supposed to be freezing tonight, rain and super high winds. And so with all that, the plan is to try to get to the hostel and probably 0 tomorrow there, and then leave out Saturday morning, I guess. We'll see how the weather is and what's going on, what the space is, because a lot of people are headed for the hostel, as you can imagine. With the weather, I hear he's got a lot of room. We'll see. All right, better use both trekking poles. So my arm is like cramped up. I'm tired. Yeah, had met some real nice folks. Met a real nice guy from North Carolina this morning. He was the one sleeping next to me, and his name is, what is his name? Darn it, Walter was his actual name. I can't remember his trail name. Well, anyway, he seemed like a nice, very nice man, and the folks I hiked with yesterday were great, so we had good conversations. All right, we will pick it up in a little bit. So far, big thundercloud up there. But otherwise, it's kind of blue-ish. Nah, it's gray, light gray. How's that? Light gray, but the wind is blowing pretty hard. All right, thanks for coming along. We'll see what happens today. Hopefully the camera does this view a little bit of justice, but wow, is this gorgeous. Absolutely stunning view. Supposed to get pretty nasty, the weather, and so not sure how many more views I'll have in the next couple of days. All right, I'm on the lee side of the mountain, so the wind is not hitting me here. The wind is ridiculous today, so I'm not sure. Oh, whoops. Not sure how much footage I'll be able to get. It just depends on the weather and stuff. But anyway, slept in the shelter last night, and that went pretty well. I slept, well, I didn't sleep that great, but that's normal for me. Temperature was good as far as my sleeping bag and all that. And by the way, thank you for the comments on kind of conditioning the bag. The tennis balls and stuff with a dryer is great if it's real damp and I get to a town, but when I'm out in the, on the trail, the only thing I can do is try to get it puffed up as early in the day as possible and let the sun hit it. And if I get to a cabin or a hostel, I can lay it out, and boy, yeah, it dries out and fluffs up pretty well. So that's okay. Anyhow, so like I said earlier, I think I said it, the plan is to try to get to Uncle Johnny's, which is 17 miles. And we did the mileage just now, Halo and I. And yesterday I did 21.9 miles. So if I could get a motion on the floor to just round that to 22, that would be great. If not, then that's fine too. Oh, wait, I see a motion. All right, second. Oh, lots of seconds. Okay, all those in favor, calling that 22, then please respond by saying, hike on, brother. Okay, motion carries. Yeah, we'll basically round that to 22. So that's because I did, the shelter was 0.1 off, some water was like a quarter mile off the trail. So you do plenty of extra hiking. All right, I think while I'm on the lee side of this mountain, I'm gonna take off my rain jacket and get my sunglasses out. Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous. That big bald was remarkable. I liked it better than Max Patch. Like it was neat. Getting up there was difficult, but then coming off of it to the shelter wasn't bad at all. So that was really a neat experience, and it was fun doing it with the guys. Anyway, all right, we'll stop there for now. Boy, look at how deeply rutted the trail is here. Woohoo! Lots of descending today. But yeah, I got to get this rain jacket off. When I'm out of the wind, it's really nice out. But the wind was ridiculous. All right, there's some cliffs that we get to climb and go up these big old stairs. I've been climbing for a while, coming up to this, and I think Guthook's app calls this some kind of, oh cool, some kind of cliffs, rock cliffs, or I don't know what, but anyway, there's a bypass trail around it. Oh, neat. Look at that. Whew. How cool. Anyhow, people at camp were talking about, oh, it's all downhill today, down to Erwin. Huh. I said, there is never all downhill. Even on downhills, there's uphills, which leave it to the Appalachian Trail to do that. Wow, look at this. That is so cool. Anyhow, she's windy, but I'm glad for it because I am sweating coming up those hills. I mean, it was long, straight up too. No switchbacks or anything. But when you go up these cliffs, you get views like this. I gotta put the phone away, my glasses are fogged up. Thought I'd take a minute kind of out of the wind here and show you the trail and the view and talk about hiking a little bit. So, oh boy, right when I pull out the camera, oh man, there's a difficult spot, especially one-handed. Let's show you the trail. There we go. I really didn't know this was here. I just pulled out the camera because it was a nice, good stretch. And there's a very pretty view across there. Boy, that is gorgeous. Man, that's neat. Hope I don't have to go up that mountain later. Usually when you see a pretty mountain like that, that means you're going up it. Anyway, having a good day of hiking. My feet are a little more tender than normal, I guess, because of the bigger day yesterday. So I'm taking it maybe just a little easy, but also I was powered up. Those big climbs did better than I thought. Very slow down those real rocky cliffs. Man, I go slow down those. I'm praying the whole way and able to wear my sunglasses today. They're not too foggy because of the strong breeze. It blows my perspiration and fog away. But anyway, let me talk about hiking. So it's, what am I going to do today? Well, I'm going to put on my pack and hike. About 17 miles is the plan to come strolling into Erwin, trying to beat some bad weather. And you can lay out plans and try to do this or that, but really the weather's the deciding factor. And if the weatherman is right, and I haven't looked today, I don't know if I even have any service. I just checked a bit ago and I didn't. So I haven't checked today to see if they've updated it at all. But sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to dodge some really severe weather, which is namely hike, longer than I wanted to yesterday to put myself in position to make it into Erwin today. But yeah, it's a nice day of hiking. I tell you, getting off that top ridge where it was so windy has been nice. There's a pretty lone pine or spruce or cedar. Let's see. I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, it's been, a nice day of hiking. The sun is shining. That's pleasant when you're on the back side of the mountain or down more in these valleys. Get away from that wind. It's not too bad. So we'll see what the rest of the day brings or what the weather brings, but it's nice to be out here hiking. In a little while, I'll cross the 333.3 mile marker. And so after that, we can do some gear evaluation for sure, having that many miles on some of it. So you can look forward to that. I'd like to do separate videos, and Halo bought me a mini tripod, but I didn't pack it with me because, boy, my pack was so heavy, and even bulk, it was kind of full on room too. So I didn't bring that little tripod, but when she comes out, I'll have her bring the tripod and maybe even recruit her or H2O to do some filming for me, because I'd really like to do a shot on trekking poles, evaluate my Lakey cork lights, and also demonstrate proper use, because that is so important, especially for any of you that are looking at doing some hiking, some serious hiking or long distance, but even just out for a cruise, you need to use them correctly. So anyway, look forward to some of that stuff. All right, I'll stop for now, and we'll continue hiking forward. That's what I'm going to do today. Here's a pretty spot. Look at this. Gorgeous. Been hearing it for a while. Ah, so pretty. Really a nice stretch of trail along here, so I thought I'd take a minute and let's talk about something, well, spiritual, but also everybody's, daily life. Let's talk about walking by faith. And by the way, for those of you that don't know or whatever, my channel being called Not by Sight, well, first of all, obviously it's because I'm legally blind and have the high myopic macular degeneration that's causing me to lose my vision. So that's why I call it that. But there's a Bible verse at 2 Corinthians 5:7, where the Apostle Paul that wrote that letter to the church in Corinth, he says that we walk by faith and not by sight. So that's where that comes from. Of course, that verse has a lot of meaning for me, because at times I'm literally walking by faith. I'm stepping down when I'm not exactly sure what my foot's going to land on. And by faith, I'm trusting that it's going to land square enough that it doesn't roll my ankle or my knee or hurt me. One of the tools, oh my, look at that. One of the tools that I use are my trekking poles to give me stability and some safety and security. And we all need something to lean on in our lives for safety and stability and security, especially this day and age that we live in, when it seems like everything is like falling apart around us and you can't trust anybody. And most people, or a lot of people, sadly, are out for themselves and not taking care of their neighbor or their country or whatever. And that's sad. But getting off the subject there for a second, so I'll come back to walking by faith. Now, you may or may not be spiritually minded. My name is Disciple because I am a follower of Jesus, and my passion in life is to help other people follow Jesus. But you may not have a clue about who Jesus is. Well, I really recommend that you check him out a little more and dig in with an open heart, an open mind, and see what God reveals to you. But even if you're not spiritually minded at all, you still have to sometimes take a leap of faith, a step that you do not know where you're going to land, but you trust that it will be okay. And this hike for me is full of that, literally and figuratively. Times I step down, and by the way, the lighting right now is great because there's not shadows and sun. So it's not too bad. Plus, this trail's so smooth. But at times, I'm stepping out and not knowing exactly where I'll land, and I have to do mile upon mile like that. So maybe for you in your life, maybe wherever you're at, it's not too big of a calling or a challenge to step out and do something that maybe you're not certain what the outcome will be, but it will better you, your life, your family's life, your town or community, your neighborhood, or even your country, or possibly your God, your Lord. Because I believe one of the neat things about this, oh, by the way, my amazing wife, Halo, has a blog, and she wrote a very beautiful addition to her blog the other day when she dropped me off, and I believe it's Teresa's Ponderings. It's Teresa, Teresa's Ponderings, and her name is Teresa Ebert, Ebert. I think you can find her that way, but I encourage you, if you haven't yet, go to her blog and read it and some of the other things that she's written. She's amazing in so many ways, but especially her writing is just beautiful, and some of the things she says. But she talks in there about how me walking by faith and not by sight has inspired lots of others. I mean, countless of you have responded to us that, you know what, you're going to now do something that you didn't think you could, or maybe you're going to be obedient to something that you feel like God is calling you to do, or whatever. And that's what this is all about. As I read through the scriptures, I'm reminded constantly that what God wants from us is our heart, and our heart leads to passionate obedience. And that's what this is all about. So maybe today or this week, you can take another step of faith. Step out and do something that you didn't know or think you could. Walk by faith and not by sight, and then watch how cool things get when you begin to live that way. So there's my 2 cents worth. Man, this is a beautiful, beautiful valley. Wouldn't even know the wind is blowing like 40 or 50 up on the peaks. Well, there you have it. There's a life lesson learned, or an inspiring word from old Disciple today. So thanks again so much. I know I say this like each clip, but I really, really mean it. Thanks so much for coming along with me. All right, here is No Business Knob Shelter. I'll spin around real quick and show the kind of the campground area. Just met a very nice young lady from Alabama named Bluebird. She is meeting her family in Erwin tomorrow and going to spend a couple days with them. So yeah, that's good news. Here's the trail running right through. How's it going? All right, hey, tell us your story real fast about what happened to your hand. How'd you get your name?
All right, so
this is Han Solo, by the way.
Yep, it's spelled Hand Solo, pronounced Han Solo. About 50 miles in, I fell off Blue Mountain about a mile before the shelter and broke my hand. So took me off trail for a couple of weeks, and not going against doctor's orders, I should say. I didn't put a cast on it. It's broken in 3 different spots on my 5th metacarpal. And I decided to look online for a splint that'll at least hold it in place for a while, and I've been pushing on ever since.
There you go. All right, quite a story. Fell off Blue Mountain. Yeah, Halo and I went through there when it was raining and slippery, and so I can totally see how you could have fallen. All right.
Yeah, it was a nasty one.
Yep, thank you. All right, coming into Erwin, coming down the mountain, and there's I think it's pronounced Nalachunky River, right outside of Erwin, Tennessee. Headed in there. I got a room at the Super 8 motel, and I think I have a dinner appointment at a burger joint right there next to it. There's several restaurants right close and a Huddle House, so I may do that. I've never been in a Huddle House before, so if not tonight for supper, then I'll definitely go there for breakfast in the morning. Hopefully they have some biscuits and gravy and some pancakes. Definitely looking forward to some hot food here this evening, but the trailhead kind of stops at Uncle Johnny's. I need to arrange a shuttle. I'm going to have to hitchhike or do something to get into the Super 8. I think it's about 5 miles from the trail. All right, we'll pick up in town or down the trail or something. I just wanted to show you the river and the real pretty view. It's starting to spit rain. It's 4:30, so trying to get in there as good a time frame as I can. Feet are definitely tired. Been a long 4 days. 15 miles, 16 miles, 22 miles, and today's 17 miles. So that's more than I ever thought I'd be able to do. So yep, the body's tired, but I think there's some onion rings calling my name. Yeehaw!